Now, I promise you this is not a judgmental video. Some people can't go vegan, some people don't want to go vegan. But I encourage you to keep an open mind. I mean, I never thought that I would go vegan, and here I am making this video. Hello everyone, welcome back. It's December, the Christmas tree behind me finally makes sense, and not only is it almost the end of this year, but it's almost the end of this decade, and I don't know about you, but I'm really excited about that. Like, I am only 23 years old, but this is about to be the 4th decade that I've been alive for, and that's really crazy to me. Like, we're about to be in the 20s, y'all, and that's crazy. And so for the month of December, I'm going to be uploading videos about the new year, the new decade, things that I hope to do in 2020, things that I hope to see in 2020, things that I hope to be in 2020. I'm currently working 3 jobs, so it might be difficult to upload as much as I really want to this month, but I'm going to shoot for 3 this month, and I'm saying this on video in an effort to hold myself accountable to the people who are watching this. Speaking of accountability, let's talk about New Year's resolutions. First of all, I want you to comment down below if you have any New Year's resolutions for 2020. Me personally, I'm the type of person who I make New Year's resolutions, you know, on January 1st, and then sometime by like January 8th, I've broken the New Year's resolution, and then I kind of beat myself up over it. So this year, I'm trying something different, where instead of trying to make a drastic choice, a drastic life change on January 1st and hoping that it lasts throughout the whole year, I'm going to try to hit this goal by December 31st of next year. So that way I can make mistakes, I can backtrack, I can slip up, etc., and I can still actually accomplish my New Year's resolution for the first time in like ever. And for 2020, my New Year's resolution is to go vegan. Since veganism is still a cultural movement, I wanted to make this video explaining my reasons for going vegan in the hopes that some of you might take the plunge with me. So I'll be talking about my 5 reasons for going vegan from least important to most important, starting with number 1. I'm already halfway there. I feel like it would be disingenuous to make a video about veganism without mentioning that I'm already pescatarian, meaning that I don't eat red meat and poultry, but I do eat seafood, eggs, and dairy. And I've been on this diet since late 2008, if I'm not mistaken. A girl who I had a crush on the time was pescatarian, and she'd been trying to convince her friends, including me, to watch a series of videos that turned her into a pescatarian, basically. And me wanting to set myself apart from her other friends who weren't really listening to her, I decided that I would watch these videos, mainly with the intention to talk about how eating animals wasn't all that bad, and I got about 20 seconds into the first video and said, nope, I'm never eating meat again. And the only reason why I still currently eat seafood, eggs, and dairy is because my crush also ate seafood, eggs, and dairy, and because I considered her to be the expert on the subject, I figured that there was no real cruelty involved in seafood, eggs, and dairy. But yeah, I've been a pescatarian since I was in the 8th grade, which definitely puts me at a distinct advantage over full-on carnivores who are trying to go vegan. But if that's you, I have no doubt that you can still do the thing because of number 2. There are a ton of vegan substitutes. There's still this strong stereotype that all vegans eat is like lettuce and kale, and while there are some vegans who are vegans because they don't like the taste of animal products, most vegans used to eat animal products and they still enjoy the taste of animal products. I happen to be one of those people who like the taste of animal products, and fortunately for us, there are vegan substitutes for almost everything at the local grocery store, from chicken to beef to eggs to cheese. You can pretty much find it all. Don't get me wrong, there are some gaps when it comes to vegan food. Like, I, for one, would like to find some vegan seafood that didn't rely on seaweed for that fishy flavor, because I don't like seaweed. But if you're a meat lover coming at this from the standpoint of, oh, but I would have to give up everything I love, then Morningstar, Gardein, Boca, and other companies like that are your friend. And I feel the need to say that this is not a sponsored video. I'm still a small channel, I just really happen to like those brands. Now that I think about it, I might not have been able to have survived for a decade as a pescatarian were it not for some of these vegan alternatives. That being said, don't assume that just because a food is vegan means that it's healthy. Deep fried vegetables may be vegetables, but they're also deep fried. And that brings me to reason number 3, which is health. So, like I said, I've been a pescatarian for a long time, and there have been some periods where for a couple of weeks I said, you know what, I'm gonna try to go vegan. And without fail, during those times when I went vegan, I always felt lighter and happier and more energetic. And it even had a positive impact on my mental health. Like, I resent the people who say that kale is going to cure your depression, but eating well really does improve your mental health. It's not going to cure anything, but it can improve mental health, And when it comes to mental health, let's be honest, every little bit helps. And I'm gonna be honest with you, during those weeks when I went vegan, I still ate things like potato chips and vegan fried chicken that was fried in lots of oil. Like, I didn't go on a health kick, I just went vegan, and I still felt better just by kicking the animal products out of my diet. So I have no doubt that I would have felt even better if I'd actually gone on a whole foods plant-based diet and not just a plant-based diet. Still, I encourage you to do some research about veganism and its positive impacts on the body. If you want to stick with YouTube, I've linked down below to a vegan educator who I'm really fond of, Mike the Vegan. And if documentaries are more your thing, if Netflix is more your thing, then I encourage you to check out The Game Changers on Netflix. I was really impressed by this documentary because it really focused on people's health, whereas a lot of the other vegan documentaries I've watched kind of focus on the cruelty of animal slaughter and factory farming. But that brings me to my fourth reason for going vegan, which is that the cognitive dissonance just got to be a little bit too much for me. Whenever I hear meat eaters get upset over other cultures that eat like cats and dogs and hamsters and stuff, it always kind of frustrates me because I find myself asking, well, how do we decide which animals deserve to die? Like, how do we decide that a pig is food, but a dog is a pet, especially when pigs and dogs have about the same intelligence? But then I had to ask myself a similar question, which is why am I comfortable with eating fish, but not chicken or turkey or pork or beef? Like, why did I decide that fish is food, but other animals aren't? And after learning about how egg-laying hens and baby chicks and mama cows and their newborn babies were treated in the factory farms that most of us get our food from, I really lost any justification not to be a vegan, other than one, it's difficult to be vegan in a non-vegan family, and two, it's difficult to find vegan options at most of the restaurants in my town. And while both of those are major obstacles to going vegan, I'm determined not to let them stop me because of reason number 5, my most important reason for going vegan, which is that the planet is dying, and I want to do my part to help it. Now, I promised this wasn't going to be a judgmental video, and it's not. There are plenty of ways to help save the environment, from using public transportation, to reducing plastic usage, to putting pressure on politicians and big corporations to make a change. But the agriculture industry is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, contributors to global climate change. And while people have been saying that we've got 12 years to save the planet, it looks like we might have even less than that, since we've largely ignored those warnings from the scientific community, and we've kept on doing things as we've done them. Now, don't get me wrong, one person going vegan isn't going to save the planet, I know this, but we're at the point where we all have to do something, and this is my something, and maybe it could be yours too. But whether you're going vegan or whether you're doing something else to save the environment, please let me know down in the comments below what it is that you're doing to reduce your carbon footprint. Also, if you're already vegan, please feel free to leave this future vegan some tips down in the comments. I'm definitely gonna be needing them next year. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video. Bye!